How's it going, everyone? Brett Mix, Macho Wrestling 101 here. Back for another Monday Night War video. This is the WCW side for week 23. It came to you February the 26th, 1996. This is the 26th episode of Nitro, but just the 23rd week they go at it, as Raw wasn't on the air 3 different times in the last 26 weeks. But this is the 23rd week they do have gone head to head, and Nitro got a 3.2, Raw got a 3.1. It's a victory for Nitro by 0.1 viewers, 100K viewers. But this is the first time in the Monday Night Wars history that both show pulled over a 3.0 rating for both sides. So that's a lot of people watching wrestling. So this week, Nitro all time this week has 11 wins, 10 losses, and 2 draws. So that means Raw's won 10 times, Nitro's won 11 times, and 2 times they've tied. This is the Nitro that barely won the war this week with a 3.2 rating because it was really close. Nitro begins with Bischoff talking about Uncensored 96 and tonight's 6-man tag that's going to main event between the Horsemen, Savage, Hogan, and the Booty Man. Yeah, he's the Booty Man. That's Brutus Beefcake. I have to keep calling him the Booty Man. I know, but that's his character's name. I hate it as much as you might hate listening to it. Steve McMichael, Eric Bischoff, and Bobby Heenan are on commentary, and again, Bischoff goes over the Raw results. He says, Diesel over Bob Holly, he's still around. Jake the Snake, he's still alive over Yankum. He said something like that. I'm paraphrasing, but glad I reviewed that show first, or I would have been legit mad at Bischoff. I would have been like, well, you wrecked my viewing of it again. I forgot who won those matches, but I already reviewed that Raw, so no hard feelings to Mr. Bischoff. Not for me anyway, but I don't think Vince McMahon was the same way. Let's get to this. From Knoxville, Tennessee, live on TNT, Sting takes on Big Bubba Rogers to open the show. Big Bubba Rogers, a.k.a. the Big Boss Man, ready for singles competition against the Stinger, who is in black-yellow tights with yellow-orange face paint. Big Bubba Rogers gets him cornered, and they have a clean break. Bubba Rogers puts his hand out, and the fans boo. He puts his hand out like the Hitman. Sting takes his time and slaps Big Bubba Rogers, who wanted a handshake. Sting then with a drop toe hold as he came charging towards him, and then a front face for Bulldog by Sting to Bubba Rogers. Then Big Bubba Rogers with a hot shot attempt, but instead hit an atomic drop to Sting, and then a clothesline. All of a sudden, Sting was put on the middle rope, and Big Bubba Rogers slid out like the baseball slide, and then an uppercut, like the Big Boss Man you always used to do. Big Bubba Rogers does it well and showed his agility, so smooth. Then a headlock to Sting, and we go to commercial. We come back. Big Bubba Rogers torques the neck of Sting. I'll just call him Boss Man. Big Bubba Rogers. I'm getting it's a tongue twister, and it's not his name. It is here, but it shouldn't be. Big Bubba Rogers with a near fall. And in that case, I can call the Booty Man Beefcake. I think I might do that. Sting kicks out of repeated near falls by the Boss Man. Sting out of the hold, reverse Irish whip the Boss Man with a body splash into the corner. Another right hand. Sting with an atomic drop and a clothesline himself. And Big Bubba Rogers goes down to the canvas floor. There's an old granny yelling at Big Bubba Rogers in the front row. It was hilarious. Sting shoved Big Bubba Rogers right on his head. Both men are down. Sting can't kick out. Sting and Bubba brawl in the middle of the ring. And then a Stinger splash. Rogers sells the ribcage. Big Bubba throws him out to the floor right afterwards. After he got a rake to the eyes of Sting. Sting then off the top rope came with a crossbody and a 3 count. Sting gets the victory at 7:14 as this one went back and forth near the end. Sting winner at 7:14. Really good match here. He won with the big crossbody off the top. Like I said, I rated it 2 stars and 3/4 just because they actually had a really good match. Big Bubba Rogers, Boss Man, such a good underrated worker was Ray Traylor. The Road Warriors come out and talk with Luger and Sting by the entranceway. They say they respect Sting, but Luger is a cheap shot artist. Luger says, we will wrestle you any match, anytime. Sting says the Road Warriors are from the streets, Lex. He's trying to tell them, and Lex Luger goes, I'm from Chicago as well. And then Sting goes, you're from the white collar section, Lex. These guys are from the streets. And then the Road Warriors give him some childlike insults, but they do it in a manly voice, so it sounds cool. Sting is embarrassed to be around Luger. Luger says, we'll have a fight, you guys, any match, anytime. And then they say, okay, a Chicago street fight. And Luger goes, I'm from Chicago, but what's a Chicago street fight? Luger just looks like the biggest idiot in the world. Then Luger comes out to take on the Renegade. The Renegade comes firing up like he's the Warrior. And this is right around the same time Vince is bringing back the Warrior. So interesting that the Renegade gets Nitro airtime. I'm sure that was by coincidence. Luger then continued his winning ways at 547 after Jimmy Hart came out and pushed the Renegade off the top rope, and Luger got him in the torture rack. Sting came in after and yelled at Luger, saying, "What the hell is going on with you and your cheating ways?" Luger denied it, knowing that Jimmy was going to come out. I rated that a 1.5 stars. The Road Warriors take on Harlem Heat here. This is a big brawl here between these four powerhouses. Animal, Hawk, Stevie Ray, and Booker T. They cut off half of the ring, do Booker T and Stevie Ray. They isolate Animal in there, and he's looking for the hot tag to Hawk. Fans chant LOD, a standing front face log by Stevie Ray to Hawk. He crashes into the corner, and Booker T comes out with a big scissors kick, a double suplex by Booker T. Booker T then does the Harlem hangover to Hawk. Then Animal with a shot behind the official who was tending to Stevie Ray on the outside. And at 7:54, the Road Warriors win after the cheap shot by Animal. But the referee didn't see it, so they beat Harlem Heat. Booker T had it with the Harlem hangover, but the ref didn't see him pin when Animal intervened. So I rated that match 2.5 stars between the Harlem Heat and the Road Warriors. It was a good power tag team match. Next up, we got Hulk Hogan, Randy Savage, and the Booty Man, Brutus Beefcake, versus Kevin Sullivan and the Four Horsemen, Arn Anderson and Ric Flair. Well, I guess when I've reviewed Mr. Ass matches, I guess the Booty Man is not quite as bad as Mr. Ass. It's the same thing. In a 6-man tag team match. Mr. Ass just sounds cooler, though, because it's like we don't give a shit. You know? Hulk Hogan, Randy Savage, and the Booty Man kicked the heels all over the places at the same time. Kimberly then came down with flowers during the main event, but she never really gave them to anyone. She just stood in the entranceway with flowers. The Booty Man then, so she's obviously got someone she's interested in. The Booty Man took it to Arn, and Woman and Elizabeth were also out with the Horsemen and Sullivan. The Booty Man puts Anderson in his place in the corner. Arn then spears the Booty Man in the corner. I know. I have to keep saying his name. And he ran into a boot. A headlock by the Booty Man. And can I just skip over the Booty Man garbage? When's the NWO going to come out? It's coming soon, thank God. It's in a few months. Not that these Nitros weren't good, but some of the stuff like the Booty Man just... If he put him in an NWO shirt, it wouldn't have been as bad. Coming out to the music, you know... Yeah, you guys know what I'm talking about. Macho Man and Flair tie up. All 6 men start to go at it at once as the referees lose control of this thing. A back body drops. Savage hit Flair. A tag to Hogan, and Flair was posing, and then he begged when Hogan got in the corner. He chopped and did a strut, did Flair, and then he begged as Hogan came after him. The usual Hogan shtick with the usual Flair shtick. Savage and Flair go at it, but Liz grabs Savage, so Woman and Liz both grabbed by the hair by Savage, and then Sullivan got at Macho Man and leveled him. Taskmaster dropped rights to the Macho Man and threw him into the turnbuckle. Hogan then, behind the action, gets a leg drop to Arn Anderson, and they win that way. So Hogan, the Booty Man, and Savage are victorious at 12:05. Then Liz handcuffs Hogan, and Ric Flair is whipping Hogan in the corner. Savage tries to get to the key, but Hogan is literally handcuffed to the ropes, to the turnbuckle. The Booty Man trying to get the key. The Booty Man was in the ring trying to get Hogan free, and that's how we go off the air with Bischoff saying, "See you in 2 weeks," because Raw wasn't on the next week, and because of a preempted show on the Civil War. So Nitro wasn't on the next. I meant Nitro wasn't on the next week. Because of a preempted Civil War thing on TNT. So Bischoff says, "See you in 2 weeks." And Hogan's handcuffed into the corner. So this match was laughably bad. I gave it 3/4 star just because it was just laughably bad, even though there was some fine wrestling in it. It was just, you can't end the show that way. And then Hogan's handcuffed in the corner, and thank God the ideas like this would soon leave. Nitro in 1996 was really good, and we're almost at that part where it starts to get really good all the time. When they hit 2 hours, that's when it starts to get really good. So we're almost there. This 23rd week, Nitro beat Raw by 0.1. I rated this episode a 5 out of 10. And this one won the ratings week, 3.2 to 3.1. So Nitro's successful in week 23. Will they be in week 24? We'll find out. I'm Brett Mix. Thanks for watching this review, and we'll see you on the next one.